Welcome to Barts Gaming Corner. We've talked about the best upcoming isometric RPGs of 2022 and the best upcoming open world and first person RPGs of 2022. And now it's time to show you the best action RPGs of 2022. And by that I mean RPGs like Diablo, games where you kill enemy after enemy and gain hordes of loot. The remastered version of Diablo II, which was released at the end of 2021, of course is a nice appetizer, but we need more. So here goes. Spark in the Dark. Spark in the Dark takes your character on a journey of exploration through the so-called endless dungeons. It is set in a medieval dark fantasy world and you can pick between 5 classes to fight your way through this dungeon. The overall style and tone of this RPG made by Stellar Fish is quite dark and eerie. And next to that it has some original gameplay elements which sets it apart from the other games here. Spark in the Dark is set to be released on PC on Steam somewhere this year. Diablo IV. This is probably the most well-known game on this list, and a game where probably most of you are waiting for. Diablo 1 and 2 were genre-defining RPGs. Diablo 3 had its problems at first, but after a couple of patches and add-ons, it is pretty entertaining. Blizzard promises that Diablo 4 will be even more impressive. In Diablo 4 the focus now is on fighting Lilith, and you can see how she looks and how people willingly and unwillingly sacrifice themselves to resurrect her in the amazing trailer. From what I've seen, it sets the exact grim dark tone known from its predecessors. With the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft, there is some uncertainty when Diablo 4 will be released and on what platforms exactly, but my guess is that it will be made available much more widely now than when Blizzard had the reins of the company. V Rising. Playing as a vampire? Well, why not? You start out as a weakened vampire after centuries of slumber and it's time to conquer, build and feed. V Rising is an action RPG with some strategy elements. You go out on the hunt for new resources, allies, to fight enemies, and of course to feed on unsuspecting villagers, all the while having to navigate through a day and night cycle. Go out in the sun and you will be burned to ashes, so you have to navigate through the shadows. And of course the night belongs to you. Next to that you build both your castle and a small army of minions. V Rising offers a large open world and can be played both in single player modus as well as co-op. It is being developed by Sunlock Studios and will be released on PC on Steam, either in 2022 or next year 2023. Achilles Legends Untold. Mythical antiquity and one of the most famous heroes from human literature. What is not to like? Achilles Legends Untold is an action RPG reminiscent of the Baldur's Gate action games from the early 2000s. Not to be confused with the original Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, which are isometric RPGs. Here you play with the titular hero and you have to fight your way through a war between Hades, god of the underworld, and Ares, god of war. The game is being developed by Dark Point Games and offers both a single player and co-op experience. Achilles Legends Untold is available on Steam in early access and will be probably released somewhere this year. Info on other platforms is of yet not available. Well, at least not to me. Weird West. As the title suggests, this is the most original and weirdest game on this list. Weird West offers a different version of the Wild West. Here, lawmen and gunslingers travel amongst mythical and fantasy beings. From what I've seen from the trailer, I'm quite impressed with the overall graphical style. Looks more like a well-drawn cartoon or graphic novel. than a video game. Apart from that, there are lots of ways to play this game and each new save is unique, which makes Weird West, as I've said, the most original game on this list. The game is being developed by Wolf Eye Studios and will be released on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam and GOG.com for PC on the 31st of March, so quite soon. Gimle, the Broken Prophecy, also called Gimle Arc-like Saga. This is an isometric action RPG based on Norse mythology. The game is centered around Brand, a Norse hero who needs to unravel the mystery of the new world. A world free of war, strife, hunger and evil. Of course, in order to reach the new world, there's plenty of evil and strife to overcome for Brand. Gimle, the Broken Prophecy, offers the different gameplay and graphics elements we know from the genre and looks pretty promising. This being developed by Bloom Media and will be released on PC on Steam somewhere this year. Gatewalkers, a medieval fantasy action RPG set in a dying world. It is up to you to save your world by exploring other worlds you can reach through magical gates. Designed as a co-op game, Gatewalkers however can be played in single-player modus as well. Small Polish studio A2 is behind Gatewalkers, and the game is set to be released on PC and Mac, so Steam, somewhere this year or 2023. Batora Lost Haven. A girl with both mental and physical powers and apparently memory loss needs to save the Earth in this combination of fantasy and science fiction. First thing I noticed was the overall graphics. These look of the same quality at first glance of that of a AAA studio. Batora Lost Haven seems action-packed and very colorful. Besides that, you will also need to make a choice between good and evil in how to save your world. Batora Lost Haven is being developed by Stormmind Games and will be released on several platforms, namely Xbox, PlayStation, PC and Nintendo Switch. Coridden. Change between human and beast form in this action RPG, which can be played for up and until 1 to 4 players. You play as one of 4 siblings who can shapeshift into powerful creatures after finding a mysterious artifact. And you will need these powers to explore the ruins of an ancient civilization and stop a mysterious, luminous threat. While I myself haven't read and heard that much about this game up until a short while ago, Coridden looks to be a pretty nifty action RPG. It is being developed by Untold, I hope I pronounced this correctly, and will be released somewhere this year on Steam. I don't have any information yet on other available platforms.